Hey y'all, welcome back to the Dirt Ranch. Sorry for the delay in videos. This thing has been eating my lunch. It really has. I'm not sure what the deal is, whether it's my Adobe Rush editor or what, but I've been dropping video, dropping audio. I don't know, it's a mess. So, anyways, this is. I apologize ahead of time. This is probably not going to be fantastic, like my usual ones are. This is going to be me finishing Pea'n in the garden. So again, apologies ahead of time. But yeah, here I am putting down some of that weed barrier. It was windy, probably for the 4 or 5 days previous to this, and this was the first day that I had that didn't have much wind. So I figured I'd better get after it and get this gravel down so I could finish this part of it. So, anyways, weed barrier goes down. Took care of some weeds around the edge of the beds there, and anyways, this is me getting after it. Well, I was just sitting here taking a little break, getting me a sip of coffee, and saw the biggest jackrabbit that I've seen, maybe even ever. This thing was ginormous. It was probably 18 inches to the top of its back, and then whenever it was bouncing around, it was freaking huge. Anyways, so I'm sitting here, and I'm like, dang it, wish I had me a rifle with a scope. And then it started coming closer and closer and closer, and then I was like, hey, I got my pistola. I could take care of this thing right now. And the dang thing was acting like it knew what a what a proper shot is. It was not giving me anything. I'll show you where it came. It came from back over here on top of that little hill, and then kind of bounced down this way towards the compost heap, and then came around here. And at that time there was, I don't know if you guys can see back there, there's some cattle back there. Of course, then there's my brother's house and his animals, and then over here, right about where that pump was, there was another horse, and then he came over here to this area, and I probably could have took that shot, but it wasn't worth it. So then it bounced right back that way and came over to here and started to come across this way, and I thought, boy, if it gets right in here, I'm gonna shoot that sucker. So right about here, I started moving real slow to pull my pistol, and it got right to there, and I was like, yep, I could do it. And then he bolted on this way over here, boogied up that way, and then went behind on the other side. So missed an opportunity. That thing would have just decimated the things we have growing over here. Of course, they're probably not big enough for it to care about currently, but eventually it could have easily hopped up into this bed. I don't know if it would have. I've never heard of anything happening like that, but it was big. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for it and make sure I got my field of fire set, and probably pull my pistol a little bit earlier. I'll get it next time. Silly wabbit. So, also in the way of an update, I know probably, I don't know, video before last, something like that. I was in a bit of a conundrum about what spacing to put here between the timbers and the beds. So the beds are 6 feet wide. They're 6 feet in between them, and so I thought 6 feet. My son Ben came out, and I had a couple of them laid out at 6 feet, and he came and he's like, hey, is there anything I can do? I'm like, yeah, man, if you wouldn't mind, here's what the plan is. And I didn't give him any kind of instructions. I was just like, hey, if you could just lay these timbers out here, that'd be cool. I'll come back in later on and get them sized up and put in the right spot. Well, so he went above and beyond, and he laid out all of these timbers here and the spaces in between them. I was like, I hadn't thought about leaving spaces in between them. That's pretty handy to walk through. I am surprised at how little this gravel moves, though. I don't know if I figured it was, as we'd walk on it, it would just kind of push all the way out into the middle. Moves very little, so I'm pretty excited about that. And so then, as I was thinking about it today, I thought, shoot, I'm just going to leave those, leave the spaces in between there because I like the look of that. And then I thought, and the spacing looks good. Heck, I'm just going to go for it. So I started rolling out the black plastic weed barrier, and so I got one course of it laid all the way around. Save the back there. And then I started looking at it. I'm like, that doesn't quite look 6 feet. I measured it out and it was 5 feet. So conundrum time again. Consulted my OCD and thought, I really like the way that looks. So I'm leaving it at 5 feet. And I'm good with it. So, well done, son. That was exactly what it needed. So I've got a plan now, and I'm gonna get out here and finish this. I'm gonna put the rest of this in right here, and then start putting some gravel in it to pee in the garden once again. Thanks, Benny. So back on the John Deere 1025, got me a load of pea gravel over here. You guys seen me do this before. There were some challenges doing this. I wasn't really sure if I was where I was going to be dumping this stuff. If I should come from the side, like I'm doing now, or down the middle of the trellises, going east to west. Anyways, I figured this is just as good as anything. It was just putting it in there, and it was going to have to be all smoothed out later. So, anyways, more tractor time. Well, this is a couple days after I did all the work over here, dumping all the pea gravel in, but it's looking pretty good. This obviously has to be leveled out, but I was able to get most of the other side straightened out. We just had some rain, so this is kind of what it looks like. Pretty nice. Other news, the garden is looking really good. We just got little things popping up all over. We're kind of wondering about our plants. Some of these here, like these onions, they're looking a little puny. Tomatoes there, and looking kind of peaked. We have used the oh gosh, whatever the name is, Hugelkultur, which is German for put some wood underneath your soil and grow stuff, so you don't have to use so much good soil. Anyways, all the wood that we put in the bottom of these raised beds, the decomposing wood robs the soil from robs nitrogen from the soil. So we're going to try to find some nitrogen that we can put in there to fix that with. These onions over here are looking really good. Also, the newish bed that my wife planted over here has got stuff popping up in it. Looking real good. Little plants all over the place trying to stick their head up. So we're probably going to have to get some nitrogen and put in there. I didn't think it would take that quick of a turn. I figured that the soil would have quite a bit of nutrients in it. And maybe next year we would have to do this. What we have here is pumpkins. So we had a gourd that had been was rotting, and so we just chucked it out here in the middle of the field, and I don't know, hadn't really thought any more about it. And then all of a sudden we start getting some plants popping up there, so Rachel's tickled about that. We're going to she's going to dig them up and put them in probably this over here, which I'm going to be getting some corn and putting over in that, and maybe some melons, and gosh, who knows what else. Anyways, there's a bunch of stuff that we're going to do, we think. So we'll see. And anyways, I want to thank you for hanging out with us here at the Dirt Ranch, and thanks for support that you give to us by watching the videos, the comments, and all that. Appreciate you guys spending time here just trying to oh, you must be really bored if you're watching this stuff, but I appreciate you doing it. We love you guys, and want to give a shout out to my cousin Raj. He is in the hospital right now with COVID-19 symptoms, and so we're thinking about you, Raj. We're praying for you. We love you, and take care. Rhonda, his wife, is holding down the fort there. Prayers also going up for her as well, and for all their family and friends there. Stay home, and let's be alone together. So I hope that this little format will help you guys keep in touch with us. We want to be safe. We want to have everybody safe and make it through this ordeal. So take care of yourselves and keep safe. And don't forget to down in the comments there, leave some comments, like, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. And this is Farmer Flo signing off. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.